जी।
ओम ज्ञानं तिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वरूपं सदा मह्यं ददति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुवैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगं रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साधुवेतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णं चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदां सहगं ललिताश्रीशाकवतं च। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णापृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चातदेश तारिणे। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कंचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। पंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधु एव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव सदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जगत श्री प्रभुपाद की we are starting our book number 10, Prahlad Maharaj, Transcendental Teachings of Prahlad Maharaj by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Starting chapter 1, the dearmost person. Yes, प्रभु जी आप start करेंगे?
जी प्रभु जी स्क्रॉल करिएगा, ऊपर क्या लिखा हुआ था 2 लाइन में. What follows is based on a series of talks Srila Prabhupada gave in 1968 on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 6. The Dearmost Person, Chapter 1. Today, I shall speak to you of the history of a boy devotee named Prahlad Maharaj. He was born in a family that was stubbornly atheistic. There are two kinds of men in the world, the demons and the demigods. What is the difference between them? The main difference is that demigods or godly persons are devoted to the Supreme Lord, whereas the demons are atheistic. आगे पढ़ो प्रभु.
Paragraph खत्म हो गई. हाँ, मैं पढ़ लेता हूँ फिर. They do not believe in God because they are materialists. These two classes of men always exist in the world. At the present moment, due to age of Kali, age of quarrel, the number of demons has increased, but the classification has existed since the beginning of creation. The incident I am narrating to you occurred very, very long ago, a few million years after the time of creation. Yes. Kanak.
When Prahlad Maharaj was a 5-year-old
यहाँ से
boy,
पढ़ना है. Sorry, यहाँ से.
Prahlad Maharaj was the son of the most atheistic person and the most materially powerful as well. Because the society was materialistic, this boy had no opportunity to glorify the Supreme Lord. The characteristic of a great soul is that he is very eager to broadcast glorification of the Supreme Lord. Lord Jesus Christ, for example, was very eager to broadcast the glorification of God, but the demonic people misunderstood him and crucified him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yes, please.
When Prahlad Maharaj was a 5-year-old boy, he was sent to school. As soon as there was a recreation period, the teacher was away, he would say to his friend, "My dear friends, come on, we shall speak about Krishna consciousness." The scene is related to the Srimad Bhagavatam 7th Canto, Chapter 6. The devotee Prahlad Maharaj says, "My dear friends, this is time in this young age to prosecute Krishna consciousness." His little friend replies, "Oh, we shall now play. Why take up Krishna consciousness?" Hare Krishna.
In answer,
अच्छा, ये भी
yes, Prabhuji.
अच्छा, फिर
Complete कर दीजिए Prabhuji, please.
in answer to this, Prahlad Maharaj says, "If you are intelligent, then you must begin Bhagavad drama from childhood."
Okay. The Srimad Bhagavatam offers Bhagavad Dharma or the process leading to the scientific knowledge about God. Bhagavata means the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the Dharma means regulative principles. The human form of life is very rare. It is great opportunity. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj says, "My dear friends, you are born a civilized human being. So, although your human body is temporary, it is greatest opportunity. No one knows the length of his life. It is calculated that in this age, the human body may live up to 100 years. But at the age, as the age of Kali advances, duration of life, memory, mercy, religiousness, and all other such assets decrease. So no one has any assurance of long life in this age. Yes, correct.
Still, although the human form is temporary, you can achieve the highest perfection of life while in this human form. What is the perfection? To understand the all pervading Supreme Lord. For other life forms, this is not possible. By the gradual evolutionary process, we came to this human form, so it is a rare opportunity. By nature's law, a human body is ultimately given to you so that you can promote yourself in spiritual life and go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
The ultimate goal of life is Vishnu or Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In a later verse, Prahlad Maharaj will say, people in this material world who are endowed with the material energy do not want the goal of the human life is why. Is, do not want the goal of human life is why. Because they have been enchanted by the Lord's glaring external energy. They have forgotten that life is an opportunity to understand the ultimate goal of perfection, Vishnu. Why should we be very anxious to know Vishnu or God? Prahlad Maharaj gave a reason. Vishnu is the dearmost person that we have forgotten. We all seek some dear friend. Everyone searches in this way. A man searches for dear friendship with a woman, and a woman searches for dear friendship with a man. Or else, a man searches out a man, and a woman searches out a woman. Everyone searches after some dear friend, some sweet friend. Why? We want the cooperation of a dear friend who will help us. This is a part of the struggle for existence, and this is natural. But we do not know that our dearest friend is Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Those who have read the Bhagavad Gita will find this nice verse in the fifth chapter. If you want peace, then you must understand perfectly that everything in this world and other world is property of Krishna, and that he is the enjoyer of everything, and that he is the supreme friend of everyone. Why perform austerity? Why perform religious rituals? Why give in charity? All these activities are meant for pleasing the Supreme Lord and nothing more. And when the Supreme Lord is pleased, you will get the result. When whether you want to gain higher material happiness or spiritual happiness, whether you want to live a better life on this planet or on another planet, whatever you want, you will get if you please the Supreme Lord. Therefore, he is a most sincere friend. Whatever you want from him, you can get. But the intelligent man does not want anything that is materially contaminated. Krishna.
In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that by pious activities one can elevate oneself to the highest material planet known as Brahmaloka, where the duration of life is millions and millions of years. You cannot figure the duration of life there. Your arithmetic will be ineffective. The statement in the Bhagavad Gita is that the life of Brahma is so long that for 432 crores of our years are only 12 hours to him. Krishna says, whatever position you want, beginning from the end right up to Brahma, you can have, but the repetition of birth and death will be there. However, if by practicing Krishna consciousness you come to me, then you don't have to come back to this miserable material condition. Hare Krishna.
Prahlad Maharaj says the same thing. We should search for a dearmost friend, the Krishna, the the Supreme Lord. Why he is our dearmost friend? By nature he is dear. Now, what do you consider the dearmost thing? Have you analyzed? You yourself are the dearmost thing. I'm sitting here, but if there is a fire alarm, I shall at once take care of myself. How can I save myself? We forget our friends and even our relatives. Let me first of all save myself. Salvation is the first law of nature.
Okay. In the grossest sense, the word Atma, self, refers to the body. In the subtlest sphere, the mind or intelligence is the Atma. Okay. And in the real sense, Atma means the soul. In the gross stage, we are very fond of protecting and satisfying the body. In a subtle stage, we are very fond of satisfying the mind and intelligence. But above the mental and intellectual planes, where the atmosphere is spiritualized, we can understand. I'm not this mind, intellect, or body. I'm Brahmasmi. I'm spirit, part and parcel of Supreme Lord. That is the platform of real understanding. Hare Krishna.
Prahlad Maharaj says that of all living entities, Vishnu is the supreme Elvisher. Therefore, we are all searching for him. When a child cries, what does he long for? His mother. But he has no language to express this. By nature, he has his body born of his mother's body. So there is an intimate relationship with the mother's body. The child won't like any other woman. The child cries, but when the woman who is the child's mother come and picks him up picks him up at once. He is pacified. He has no language to express all this, but his relationship with his mother is a law of nature. Similarly, by nature, we try to protect the body. This is self preservation. It is the nature law of the living entity. Just as eating is a natural law and sleeping is a natural law, why do I protect the body? Because within the body is the soul.
What is the soul? The soul is a part of a Supreme Lord. As we want to protect the land or a finger because it is a part of the whole body. Similarly, we try to save ourselves because this is a defending process of the Supreme. The Supreme does not need defense, but this is the manifestation of our love towards Him, which is now perverted. The finger and the hand are meant to act in the interest of the whole body. As soon as I want the hand to come here, it comes, and as soon as I want the fingers to play on the drum, it plays. This is a natural position. Similarly, we are searching for God to dovetail our energy in the service of Supreme. But under the spell of the illusionary energy, we do not know it. That is our mistake. Now, in our human life, we have an opportunity to understand our actual position. Only, be, only because you are human beings, we are human beings, have you all come here to learn about Krishna consciousness, about the real goal of your life. I cannot invite the dogs and cats to sit down here. That is the difference between human beings and the cats and dog. A human being can understand the necessity of pursuing the real goal of life. But if it is a grace, it is a great catastrophe. Hare Krishna.
Prahlad Maharaj says, God is the dearmost personality of all. We have to search for God. Then what about the material necessities of life? Prahlad Maharaj replies, you are after sense gratification, but sense gratification is automatically achieved by contact with this body. Because a hog has a certain type of body, his sense gratification comes from eating stool, the very thing that is most obnoxious to you. At once, at once after evacuating, you leave to get free from the bad smell, but the hog is waiting. As soon as you evacuate, he will at once enjoy. So there are different types of sense gratification according to different types of body. Everyone has a mental body, receives sense gratification. Don't think that the hogs eating stool are unhappy. No, they are getting fat in that way. They are very happy.
Another example is the camel. The camel is very fond of thorny twigs. Why? Because when he eats thorny twigs, the twigs cut his tongue. Blood oozes out and he tastes his own blood. Then he thinks, I'm enjoying. This is sense gratification. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Suji.
Sex life is also like that. We taste our own blood and we think we are enjoying. This is foolishness. The living entity in this material world is a spiritual being, but because he has a tendency to enjoy, to exploit the material energy, he has he has contracted a body. There are 84 lakh species of living entity, each with a different body. According to the body, they have particular senses with which they enjoy a particular type of a pleasure. Suppose you are given a thorny wings to eat, ladies and gentlemen. Here is very nice food. It is certified by the camels. It is very good. Would you like to take it? No. What nonsense are you offering me? Because you have a different body from the camel, you have no taste for thorny wings. But if you offer them to the camel, it's a very really nice meal.
Now, if the hogs and camels can enjoy sense gratification without great struggle, why not we human beings? We can, but that is not our ultimate achievement. The facilities to enjoy sense gratification offered by nature, whether one be a hog, camel, human being. So why should you labor for facilities that you were destined to receive anyway by nature's law? In every form of a life, the bodily demands are satisfied by the arrangement of nature. This gratification is arranged just as there is an arrangement for distress. Do you like fever? No. Why does it come? I do not know, but it does come, does it not? Yes. Did you try for it? No. So how does it come? By nature. That is the only answer. And if your misery comes by nature, your happiness will also come by nature. Don't bother about it. If you receive the miseries of life without effort, you will similarly achieve the happiness without effort. Reward. Yes.
Then, what is the real purpose of the human form of life? Cultivating Krishna consciousness, other things will be obtained by nature's law, which is ultimately God's law. Even if I don't try, I will be supplied with whatever I am to achieve because of my past work and my particular type of body. Your real concern, therefore, should be to seek out the higher goal of human life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we are starting the chapter 2. We are spoiling our lives. Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Therefore, instead of being very anxious to stimulate our senses to increase material happiness, we should try to attain spiritual happiness by practicing Krishna consciousness. As Prahlad Maharaj says, although your life in this human body is temporary, it is very valuable. So instead of trying to increase your material sense enjoyment, your duty is to dovetail your activities in some way in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Our higher intelligence comes with this human body because we have higher consciousness. We should try for higher enjoyment in life, which is spiritual enjoyment. And how can that spiritual enjoyment be achieved? One should absorb himself in service, serving the Supreme Lord who gives the pleasure of liberation. We should turn our attention to achieving the lotus feet of Krishna who can give us liberation from this material world.
But can't we enjoy in this life and engage ourselves in Krishna's service in our next life? Prahlad Maharaj answers, we are now in material entanglement. Now I have this body, but I will quit this body after a few years, then I have to accept another body. Once you take up one body and enjoy as your body's sense dictate, you prepare another body by such sense enjoyment, and you get another body as you wanted. There is no guarantee that you will get human body. That will depend on your work. If you work like a demigod, you will get a demigod's body, and if you work like a dog, you will get a dog's body. At that, at the time of death, your destiny is not in your hands. It is in the hands of nature. It is not our duty to speculate on what material body we are going to get next. At the present moment, let us simply understand that this human body is a great opportunity to develop our spiritual consciousness, our Krishna consciousness. Therefore, we should at once engage ourselves in Krishna's service. Then we will make progress. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Swati Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
How
Krishna.
long should we do it? As long as आवाज आ रही है प्रभु जी?
Yes, yes, Mataji.
How long should we do it? As long as this body keeps working. We do not know when it will stop functioning. The great Saint Parikshit Maharaj got 7 days notice. Your body will fall in a week. But we do not know when our body will fall. Whenever we are on the road, there may suddenly be some accident. We should always be prepared. Death is always there. We should not optimistically think, everyone is dying, but I shall live. Why will you live if everyone is dying? Your grandfather has died, your great grandfather has died, other relatives of yours have died. Why should you live? You will also die, and your children will also die. Therefore, before death comes, as long as we have this human intelligence, let's engage in Krishna consciousness. This is the prescription of Prahlad Maharaj.
Ashwini Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. We do not know when this body will stop, so let us immediately engage in Krishna consciousness and act accordingly. But if I immediately engage myself in Krishna consciousness, what about my means of livelihood? That is arranged for. I am very happy to inform you of the confidence of a student in one of our batches. There was a disagreement. Another student said, "You are not looking for how to maintain the establishment." And he replied, "Oh, Krishna will supply." Um, this is a very nice conviction. I was glad to hear it. If cats and dogs and hogs can get food, will Krishna not arrange for our food also?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
प्रभु मैं आगे पढ़ूं प्रभु?
Yes, Prabhuji, आप पढ़ लीजिए.
If cats and dogs and hogs can get food, will Krishna will arrange our food also. If Krishna consciousness and full devotee or service to him, is Krishna ungrateful? No. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, "My dear friend Arjuna, I am equal to everyone. No one is my special friend. But I gave special attention to you who engages in Krishna consciousness. A small child is completely dependent on the mercy of his parents. So the parents give special attention to that child. Although the parents are equal good to all the children. For the small children who are always praying mother, they have a great concern. Yes, my dear child, yes. This is natural. Hare Krishna.
If you are completely dependent on Krishna, who is supplying food to the dogs, birds, beasts, to let they for like fishes of life, why should he not supply food to you? This conviction is a symptom of surrender. But we should not think because Krishna is supplying my food, I shall now sleep. No, you have to work, but without fear. You should engage yourself wholeheartedly in Krishna consciousness, confident of Krishna's maintenance and protection. Yes.
Now let us calculate our duration of life. In this age, it is said that we can live at most 100 years. Formerly, in the Satyug, the age of goodness, human beings would live up to 1 lakh years. In the next stage, Treta Yuga, they used to live for 10,000 years. And in the next age called Dwapara Yuga, they used to live for 1,000 years. Now, in this age called Kali Yuga, the estimate is 100 years. But gradually, as the Kali Yuga progress, our duration of life will decrease still further. This is the so called progress of our modern civilization. We are very proud that we are happy and improving our civilization. The result, however, is that although we try to enjoy material life, the duration of our life is shortened. Hare Krishna.
Now, accepting that a person lives for 100 years, if he has no information of his spiritual life, half of that is wasted at night in sleeping and sex life. That's all. He has no other interest. And in the daytime, what is his concern? There is money. There is money. I must maintain this body. And when he has money, now let me spend for my wife and children. So, where is his spiritual realization? At night, he spends his time in sleep and sex indulgence, and by day, he spends time working very hard to earn money. Is that his mission of in life? How horrible such a life!
मुझे आवाज आ रही है क्या मेरी?
Yes, Prabhuji, अब आ रही है.
Okay. The average person is a legend in childhood playing frivolous games. Up to 20 years, easily you can go on like that. Then when you become old, for another 20 years, you cannot do anything. When a man becomes old, his senses cannot function. You have seen many old men, they have nothing to do but rest. Just now, we have received a letter from one of our students reporting that his grandmother is paralyzed and has been suffering for the last 3.5 years. So in old age, everything is finished as soon as you are 80 years old. Therefore, from the beginning to 20 years of age, everything is spoiled. And even if you live for 100 years, another 20 in the last stage of life is also spoiled. So 40 years of your life are spoiled in that way. And in the middle age, there is a very strong sense appetite. So another 20 years can be lost. 20 years, and 20 years, 60 years gone. And this is the analysis of life by Prahlad Maharaj. We are spoiling our life instead of using it to advance in Krishna consciousness.
Okay, so we can stop here for the discussion and the learnings. Yes. We can start from issue Prabhu. Suji, you want to say something?
मुझे जो स्टार्टिंग में पॉइंट आया था वो काफी अच्छा लगा था कि वाई प्रहलाद महाराज डिस्कस कर रहे थे अपने फ्रेंड्स से, तो उनके फ्रेंड्स बोल रहे थे तो उनसे कि व्हाई शुड वी स्टार्ट with why should we begin Krishna consciousness instead let us play all. तो प्रहलाद महाराज बोलते हैं कि हमें विष्णु की भक्ति क्यों करनी चाहिए, बिकॉज कृष्णा की भक्ति क्यों करनी चाहिए, बिकॉज ही इज द डियर मोस्ट फ्रेंड एंड वी ऑल आर सर्चिंग फॉर द डियर मोस्ट फ्रेंड. So he is the dearmost to all of us, and we should ये एक रीजन देते हैं. एंड द सेकंड रीजन वो बताते हैं कि अगर तुम चाहो भी ना तो भी यू आर सर्विंग हिम एंड यू आर लॉन्गिंग फॉर हिम. वो एग्जांपल देते हैं वो प्रभुपाद की, वो सोल की प्रोटेक्शन का, अपनी बॉडी की प्रोटेक्शन का, दैट व्हाई यू आर प्रोटेक्टिंग दिस बॉडी. ये हमने पहले भी डिस्कस किए थे ये सारी टीचिंग प्रहलाद महाराज की. उसमें ये बताते हैं कि बिकॉज we are protecting, why we are protecting this body, because in subtle way we are protecting our soul of Prabhupada बताते हैं कि soul is a part of a god. So but though we are protecting the soul and body in a perverted way कि वो conditioned है ये सारी चीजें, इसके पीछे और कोई मंशा चेतना हो सकती है, but ultimately we are serving him in that sense. But हमें ये से कभी realize नहीं होता है. So we should start as early as possible. As Prahlad Maharaj is saying that 60 year of life is calculated like that. But if someone gets opportunity, so it's start in early age. So yeah, this is the really good opportunity to learn the teaching of Prahlad Maharaj and Krishna consciousness. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Suji. Kanak, you want to share something?
Yes, I have 2 points of
Mhm.
my learning. फर्स्ट आई रियलाइज कि हम लोग इतना ज्यादा बिजी है मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में कि इतने ज्यादा इल्यूजन है कि हमें यही नहीं पता कि हम अपनी बॉडी को तो फीड कर रहे हैं, बट व्हाट अबाउट द सोल. वी आर नॉट गिविंग एनी फूड टू द सोल. हम लोग मतलब इतने ज्यादा बॉडी से अटैच हैं कि हम लोग यही समझ बैठे हैं, मतलब इवन सम पीपल को तो यही नहीं पता कि सोल इज समथिंग, कि कुछ सोल भी है एंड वी हैव टू डू समथिंग फॉर इट. अपनी बॉडी को ही मेंटेन करने में लगे हुए हैं. एंड सेकेंड पॉइंट आई रियलाइज कि जैसे ये एक नेचर है कि जैसे दुख आता है वैसे ही सुख भी आएगा, तो वी डोंट हैव टू लॉन्ग फॉर इट. कृष्णा हैज मेड अरेंजमेंट्स फॉर इट हिमसेल्फ. एंड थर्ड पॉइंट विच आई रियलाइज कि हम जितनी भी टेंशन ले लें उससे कुछ होना नहीं है, या कुछ भी हम सोचते रहे इधर उधर का. कृष्णा हैज दिस प्लानिंग्स. कृष्णा ने हम सबके लिए कुछ ना कुछ अच्छे ही प्लान करा हुआ है, और जैसे जैसे हम कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस में एडवांस करेंगे तो कृष्णा वो सिचुएशन हमारे अकॉर्डिंग मोल्ड कर देगा फॉर द हैप्पीनेस ऑफ हिज डिवोटीज. सो वी जस्ट हैव टू बी द कृष्णा कॉन्शियस पर्सन, नथिंग एल्स. हरे कृष्णा.
Okay, thank you. मेरे भी कुछ रिलेटेड पॉइंट्स ये हैं कि इसमें मतलब जैसे एक छोटा बच्चा होता है वो अपने पेरेंट्स पे डिपेंड होता है, एंड ही और शी विल गेट एनीथिंग फ्रॉम द पेरेंट्स, तो उसे वो बॉदर करने की जरूरत नहीं होती, उसे एंशियस होने की जरूरत नहीं कि अरे मेरा खाना कैसे होगा सुबह दोपहर शाम का. वो पेरेंट्स पे डिपेंडेंट, पेरेंट्स विल टेक केयर ऑफ इट. और उसमें प्रभुपाद बता रहे हैं कि अगर जो बच्चा ज़्यादा पेरेंट्स पे ज़्यादा डिपेंड होता है, मतलब हर तरीके से डिपेंड होता है, तो पेरेंट्स उसकी स्पेशल केयर करते हैं. उन्हें लगता है कि हमारे अलावा कौन देखेगा इसे. तो सिमिलरली हमारी केस में भी हो सकता है, इफ वी आर डिपेंडिंग ऑन कृष्णा फॉर एवरीथिंग, तो मतलब कृष्णा विल गिव इमेंस अटेंशन टू आवर नीड और whatever it is required to perform spiritual progress. तो वो डिपेंडेंसी कृष्णा पे बहुत जरूरी है। मतलब जैसे एक बच्चे की, छोटे बच्चे की माँ बाप पे होती है, और उसमें बता रहे हैं प्रभुपाद कि हम चैरिटी कर रहे हैं, और हम मतलब कुछ भी करते हैं, हम जैसे बाहर चैरिटी करा या फिर उससे रिलेटेड ऐसे कुछ भी करा, तो हम इसलिए करते हैं जिससे भगवान खुश हो, है ना। हम इसलिए करते हैं क्योंकि भगवान खुश हो। और अल्टीमेटली क्या है कि कोई भी ऑस्टेरिटी, कोई भी रिचुअल हम करते हैं तो भगवान खुश हो। तो जब हम भगवान की खुशी के लिए कर रहे हैं तो भगवान की खुशी के लिए क्यों कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि अगर भगवान खुश होंगे तो ही विल टेक केयर ऑफ अस। तो अगर हम उनके अकॉर्डिंग ही चीजें करेंगे, तो कृष्ण कॉन्शियसनेस में रह के वो चीजें करेंगे, तो अ, मतलब वो बहुत इमीडिएट बेनिफिट देंगी हमें। और दूसरा ये है कि जैसे कि जब जो हमें दुख आते हैं, बात ये कि अगर हमको बुखार हो गया तो आप पूछते हो कि बुखार क्यों हुआ, तो आपको आई डोंट नो, इट इज बाय नेचर, तो मतलब अपने आप हो गया। तो अगर दुख भी खुद आ रहे हैं तो सुख भी खुद ही आएंगे। ऐसा नहीं है कि हम हमारे कुछ करने से वो हम कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं। तो यस, मतलब मेरे को लगता है कि मतलब ऐसा कि मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है कि स्पिरिचुअल एडवांसमेंट इज मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट इन ऑल द केसेस। यस, दैट्स ऑल फ्रॉम माय साइड। स्वाति माता जी, यू वांट टू शेयर समथिंग?
हरे कृष्णा। आवाज आ रही है प्रभु जी?
हाँ जी माता जी, आ रही है।
मतलब मैंने थोड़ा लेट ज्वाइन किया था, बट व्हेन आई ज्वाइंड एक पॉइंट था जिसमें प्रहलाद महाराज, प्रहलाद महाराज के फ्रेंड्स वर आस्किंग टू प्रहलाद महाराज की वाई इन दिस लाइफ ओनली, कि हम नेक्स्ट लाइफ में स्टार्ट कर देंगे, अभी हम एंजॉय कर लेते हैं एंड देन वी स्टार्ट भक्ति, वी विल स्टार्ट भक्ति इन नेक्स्ट लाइफ। तो प्रहलाद महाराज बता रहे हैं कि एट द टाइम ऑफ डेथ वी कैन नॉट डिसाइड कि हमारी नेक्स्ट बॉडी क्या होगी। तो वो डॉग की, मतलब किसी भी की भी हो सकती है, तो उसमें फिर हम भक्ति कैसे कर पाएंगे? तो वो तो नेचर का वर्क है, दैट नेचर विल डिसाइड कि हमारी नेक्स्ट जो लाइफ है वो क्या होने वाली है। बेसिकली प्रहलाद महाराज was telling the importance of starting bhakti in this life only। तो वो पॉइंट मुझे अच्छा लगा था। बाकी तो चीजें हमने सब कवर कर ही ली हैं, आप लोग जो बता रहे थे। या दैट्स इट।
थैंक यू। यस अश्विनी प्रभु, यू वांट टू शेयर समथिंग?
प्रभु नेटवर्क का थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है। आवाज आ रही है क्या मेरी वैसे?
अब आ रही है प्रभु जी।
ओके। एक बार ये पॉइंट मैं पूछा था पुणे में एक सीनियर डिवोटी से, वरतराज प्रभु से, कि श्रीला प्रभुपाद कहे हैं कि जो भी कृष्ण प्रसाद खाता है वो उसका नेक्स्ट बर्थ ह्यूमन फिक्स है, जो भी कृष्ण प्रसाद एक्सेप्ट किए हैं। तो मैंने कहा ठीक है, अभी तो जितना हम लोग प्रोग्रेस किए हैं, मान लीजिए 16 माला कर रहे हैं, कृष्ण प्रसाद तो खा ही रहे हैं, तो फिर मतलब अभी मैं एंजॉय कर लेता हूँ, नेक्स्ट बर्थ में मेरी तो वैसे भी भक्ति वहीं से शुरू होगी, तो नेक्स्ट बर्थ में कर लूंगा मैं वहां से 16 माला। तो इसमें भी तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं दिखती है। तो जैसे प्रहलाद महाराज बता रहे हैं कि भाई बाद में कर लेंगे। जैसे प्रभुपाद भी जब अपने स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर से पहली बार मिले थे, तो प्रभुपाद ने यही पूछा था उनसे, भक्तिसिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर से, कि भाई इसमें आपको नहीं लगता है कि इंडिपेंडेंस ज्यादा जरूरी है हम लोगों के लिए, भक्ति बाद में कर लेंगे। तो ये जब बाद में करने का जो हमारे दिमाग में कभी भी किसी भी चीज में आता है कि नहीं पहले ये काम कर लेते हैं, भक्ति बाद में कर लेंगे, तो दिस इज द इफेक्ट ऑफ माया। भक्ति को हमेशा पोस्टपोन करना मतलब माया, और भक्ति को इमीडिएटली करना मतलब एक्चुअली भक्ति। कोई बोले कि नहीं माला मैं अभी करूंगा बाकी बाद में, तो इसका मतलब वो एडवांसमेंट हो गया। तो वही मैं बाकी से भी आंसर सुना सीनियर डिवोटी से भी, कि जब भी हम भक्ति में ये सोचते हैं कि ठीक है ये नेक्स्ट बर्थ में कर लेंगे, इसका मतलब वी आर अंडर इल्यूजन, वी आर नॉट अंडरस्टैंडिंग द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ। that's where माया कम्स इनटू पिक्चर विद दिस अज्ञान, कि ठीक है ये अर्जेंट नहीं है, इंजॉयमेंट ज्यादा अर्जेंट है। तो whenever we are making any plan regarding bhakti and we are trying to postpone it, then we should understand that we are under illusion. तो सेकंड पॉइंट जो प्रभुपाद बताए हैं इसी चैप्टर में, कि जैसे बॉडी से हम सब बॉडी पार्ट्स की केयर करते हैं क्योंकि हम वो सब हमारे ही से जुड़े हुए हैं। तो वी विल बी हैप्पी व्हेन ऑल आवर बॉडी पार्ट्स आर working for us. अगर हाथ कट गया मान लीजिए और वो अलग पड़ा हुआ है, तो ना हाथ को आनंद है ना हमें आनंद है. तो इसी तरह we are part and parcel of Krishna, and Krishna is happy when we are engaged in the service of Krishna. And if we are separately enjoying, neither Krishna is happy nor we are happy. Though Krishna is Satchit Anand, and but out of his causeless mercy, out of his compassion for all the living entities, he is not happy if living entities are rendering service to themselves, because they want to be happy in that way. तो इस तरह से हम देखते हैं कि दोनों का, अगर लिविंग एंटिटी कृष्णा को ही सर्व करता है तभी वो भी हैप्पी हो सकता है, क्योंकि दैट वे कृष्णा विल बी हैप्पी. सो दैट्स ऑल फ्रॉम माय साइड. थैंक यू.
Okay. Thank you so much, Guruji. Anything anyone wants to share?
प्रभु जी, एक पॉइंट था, अश्विन प्रभु ने बताया था कि भक्ति का, कि कब इंसान को स्टार्ट करनी चाहिए, और डिस्कशन था प्रहलाद महाराज के फ्रेंड के साथ. मैं केशव प्रभु को एक बार सुन रहा था, तो उनके तो उसमें बहुत अच्छा लगा था मुझे वो. तो वो बताते हैं कि लोग कहते हैं कि भक्ति कब स्टार्ट करनी चाहिए, इसका कोई टाइम होता है कि पहले कमा लेते हैं फिर करेंगे, या नेक्स्ट लाइफ में, जैसे प्रभु जी बता रहे थे कि लोगों की मंशा रहती है कि जान लेते हैं, कर लेते हैं, उसके बाद फिर कहते हैं कि अभी एंजॉय करते हैं. तो वो बताते हैं कि भक्ति हमें तब से स्टार्ट कर देनी चाहिए जब से हमें भक्ति समझ में आ जाती है. हमें उसी दिन से भक्ति स्टार्ट कर देनी चाहिए. तो हमें समझ में तो आगे हम ऐसा एक्चुअली परफॉर्म नहीं कर सकते जो भक्ति के रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं, बट स्टिल वी शुड स्टार्ट, कि हम उस ट्रैक पे तो एटलीस्ट आ जाएं. मतलब फिनिश लाइन नहीं है, बट ये है कि वो इट्स अ लॉन्ग मैराथन कि एटलीस्ट हम स्टार्ट तो कर दें जिस दिन से हमें समझ में आ गई है कि ऐसा कुछ भी है. तो दैट इज दी राइट अप्रोच, कि हम भक्ति कब से स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं, जिस दिन से समझ में आ गया उस दिन से हम स्टार्ट कर देनी चाहिए भक्ति. Yeah, this is all from my side.
Nice. Thank you so much, Guruji, for sharing. Anything anyone wants to add? Okay, we are good. We can stop here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuveva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Every Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for joining.